I'm here with Lindi Rush on a beautiful day, a little bit windy, but we're going to play with the Shuttle Chef. Actually, Lindy's going to play with it. She's going to show me a few things. But I've got to say before we start, Lindi, one of the things I love about the Shuttle Chef is that it's virtually physically impossible to burn something, isn't it?
You're right,
Yeah.
you're right.
I mean, if you cook it, you know, as long as you don't burn it during the actual heating up process, once that lid's on and it's in the car or in the van, that's it. It can be ready at lunchtime, ready at the end of the day, doesn't lose any moisture, cooks beautifully. It makes it idiot proof for people like me. But you're going to prove the point today by cooking something that's very specific to that, aren't you?
Boiled fruit cake.
Ooh,
So
lovely.
whether you want it at morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, it can just sit there in the outer until you're ready to eat.
I suppose right now's out of the question, is it?
Oh, give me 3 hours.
Okay, come on, Lindy, let's go.
Terrific. So we've got our 375 grams of fruit, half a cup of sugar, a little bit of orange peel, 125 grams of butter, and half a cup of orange juice, and a little bit of liquor just to taste, and it's really up to you. We like to put in a couple of capfuls. Just adds a little bit of extra flavour. Then we simply simmer that on the stove for a couple of minutes. And when that's melted, we're going to cool it and mix in our egg and flour. I'm going to add 3 eggs. Just making sure that that fruit has cooled before you add it. And then we've just got some flour and soda bicarb. We're doing 1 cup of self-raising and 1 cup of plain flour, a little bit of soda bicarb, and of course this you can be doing of an evening before you go to bed and just take it out in the morning. And not only are you cutting down on or making the convenience of having your cake when you want it, but of course it's a huge power saving that you're just cooking a cake on top of a stove. And in particular when you're travelling, you're not having to buy bought cakes, so you've got a big cost saving, and you know what's going into your food. You're not having all those additives that they add to bought foods. So there we go, it's as simple as that. And I'm just going to now pour it into the cake tin. Now you can decorate it or not. There we go, and a bit of glad bake for the top. Lid goes on. Now you want enough boiling water for the boiling water to come roughly 1/2 to 2/3 of the way up the side of the tin. There we go, so measure it out first, it's always worth it. That's now got enough in there. So that lid goes on, and that's it complete. About 40 minutes for a fruit cake. It's the densest of all cakes, and it's the longest anything is going to take in your Shuttle Chef. But just you're trying to get the heat into the centre of the food. Doesn't matter how long you leave it in there for afterwards. If you haven't got the heat into the centre of the food to begin with, it's not going to cook. After that's boiled for its 40 minutes, it will go into the outer container, and the cake could be finished in 3 hours. But as Roothy said, you can leave it in there 6 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours. It won't overcook by leaving it in there longer. So I dare say this one's going to come out as soon as Roothy comes back for his morning tea.
And there's the cake.
And a round tin to do
Oh wow,
the good
that's
old
superb,
fruit cake.
isn't it? Look at that. You know, the only thing I can think of that would make that better would be a glass of brandy and some cream. Oh, it's beautiful.
Hot bread without an oven. steams on the stove or 20 minutes on the stove and an hour in the outer, and it's done.
Can you go away? I'm going to try both of these at once, and I don't know if it's really not done or not. This is lovely.